Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Another beautiful morning here in Pennsylvania. I'm really glad you could join me today. Well, I just finished planting my broccoli, which is behind me, and today I wanted to share with you some tips and ideas on how you can protect your plants from aphids by using row covers. So I'm really glad you could join me today. So anyhow, having just planted my broccoli here, and you know, cold weather crops like your cauliflower, your cabbage, your kale, your mustard greens, cabbage, you know, the aphids and the cabbage looper, you know, the white butterfly that flies around your garden, which lays eggs under the leaves, and then it develops into a caterpillar which devours your leaves. Well, anyhow, the row cover is, it's basically here, it's a spun bonded polyester. It's kind of like a fleece, you could say. Also, it's known as agribond in the garden world. And so I have these hoops here, and what I'm going to be doing is assembling here a low tunnel hoop house. My garden bed here is 4 feet wide by 15 feet long, and so I'm going to space these about 3 feet apart. You probably could space them further if you want, but I have plenty of these hoops, and these particular hoops were made out of 1/2-inch rigid conduit that you can get at a home center for roughly like $3 a piece, and you bend them in a 4-foot radius. You could also do a hoop house using the 1/2-inch PVC conduit, and it's a lot easier, a lot more user-friendly for homeowners to construct one using the PVC. So what I'm going to do is lay out these hoops every 5 feet or 3 foot apart, and then start assembling them. So having laid out 3 foot apart on this 2x4 along the edge of my garden, I put in 3 hoops already, and I have 3 remaining hoops to go. I got Billy, come on. You get out of the garden. And so, you know, you just basically want to push them into the ground as far as they'll go. Usually about 6 inches here will do. And so I have one in. And this is one of the rare times, or few times, that I end up walking in my garden once these hoops are in. And then I usually don't. And so let's put the end one in right here. Simply going to just push them in, as I said, about 6-8 inches until they're nice and firm. Again, these are called a low tunnel hoop house. You know, and it'll keep all the bugs off and pests. I tell people it's well worth the time up front and the money to install these hoop houses, because you know, having to worry about pests and keep them off your plants really becomes annoying and frustrating during the garden season. So what I have here is my roll of row cover. It's a spun bonded polyester. You know, this row cover allows all your rain to go through and you know, air to pass through, but again, it keeps the bugs out. It also, it's like 95% light transmission, so it does cut back on some of the sunlight during the summer, which is really good for a lot of your plants. But I'm amazed how well my plants thrive under these row covers. They really do excellent under here. And so I ended up getting this roll here a couple years ago from Rainflow is the company, and they're located in Lancaster. But this is 11 foot by 500 foot roll, and it really wasn't that expensive. And so this 500 foot roll is going to probably last me 3 years or more. And so what I'm going to do is measure the length that I need and then cut it out on the ground. So I ended up laying out the polyester cloth here, the fleece, and put a brick on the one end. My hoops were 15 feet from one end to the other, was 15 feet, and they were 3 feet off the ground. So I added a foot to the 3 foot, which makes it 4 foot, but you need to go across 15 and then down 3, but then I added an extra foot on each end. So I took 15 foot and added 9, which gave me 24 feet. Gives me an extra foot on each end to curl up and put a brick over. So I'm just going to take my nice sharp utility knife and cut the roll here. And then I'm going to put a brick on the end of it, because it inevitably always seems to get windy when I go to do this. So I'm going to take this row cloth and line it up along the hoops and anchor the one side down with bricks, and then we're going to install the row cover. So anyhow, I have the row cover laid out along the poles, and I have the bricks holding the one edge down, and then I'm simply going to pick it up and then put it over these hoops. And of course, you know, the wind has to start picking up a little bit, so but I'm going to go ahead and do this anyhow. And so so let's get started. I'm going to get the one leading edge here. I feel. Bricks already laid out on the sides over here. It's definitely something you want to try to do if it's not windy, but we're going to give this a try and see what happens. And then so far so good. So you can see it's starting to come together again. And I just simply use some bricks that I have from being in construction, and the bricks really work out nice. And then you just want to, I just take this row cover and wrap it up at the ends, and I'm going to just lay some brick right over where I wrap it up. Some people use sandbags, you know, sandbags work okay. And so I just have the one more end to do here, and we're pretty much good to go here. So anyhow, there you go. You know, that kind of shows you that one man can install the row cover even on a windy day. But, you know, I might tune that row cover up a little bit as far as tightening certain areas, but considering the wind, it went in really well. And like I said, I just can't emphasize strongly enough that, you know, encourage you to think about putting row covers over your vegetables, because, you know, it keeps the bugs off, which then keeps your plants from getting diseased. It keeps them nice and healthy and strong, and so again, something well worth the time and effort up front, because then it'll make your garden season a lot nicer. Now what I'll do is I'm going to get my hose next and show you how you can water right through these row covers. So what I did is I ended up getting the hose. You know, if you've seen my earlier video about my pre-season 55-gallon watering can, I turned the pump on, which was my utility pump, and right now the hose is then ready to go. And so I just wanted to show you how you can water your plants right through these row covers. You know, you could also use an irrigation system too if you want to for your plants, but you know, watering right through these row covers works really well too. So let's give this a try. So anyhow, it's just a really great way to water your plants right through the row cover. I'm really glad to get the row cover over these transplants. They look a little stressed from all the sun we've been having lately, and so I'm just really glad to get this cover on today and get these plants watered. So anyhow, I hope this video has been helpful for you. You know, I just love these row covers, and I just think they're the greatest. The plants do wonderful under these row covers or fleece or agribond. So anyhow, if you have any comments or questions about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below, or if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so you can receive future videos. So anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.